everybody. Hello again. Real Talks number 3
Already.
already. Boy, have we got some updates. Last time we were able to do this video, we thought we would be getting an MRI done and be scheduled for San Francisco. I am. We just didn't get there the same way we thought we would. So, long story short of all of this is that we ended up being told that we got to get in for the third MRI from my San Francisco doctor. He gave what's called a stat order, which means it needs to happen immediately. The problem is the radiology department can't do anything with that order.
Right, so they wanted us to get the MRI done here in Vegas.
That's right.
So he sent the order to the Vegas VA hospital.
That's right, yep. And so we couldn't get the signature done, and this was last Thursday. We couldn't get the signature done by the neurosurgeon team here at the VA hospital. For whatever reason, I'm sure they were tied up and stuff, but it doesn't matter here nor there. But we didn't get that signature done, so they said, hey, call us back up on Monday. Let's see what we can do. So we call Monday. This is this last Monday. And they say, well, we see now that the order is pending, meaning that the doctor did something with it, but it's still not within the radiology's team to schedule it because it's still a stat order. Stat orders need to go to the ER.
Okay.
So he said, all right.
Let's go to the ER.
At the ER. So we did. So we headed up to the ER and got into the VA ER, got triaged, and like anything, we find out that Mondays are a very busy time for them, which is great. At any rate, we get triaged about an hour later. They're very confused as to why I'm there. They're like, you've already had 2 MRIs. Why are you here for the third MRI? Why is it a stat order? So I'm like, look, this is
I'm the patient.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't write the shit.
I'm not the doctor, so fucking figure it out. They go back, look at all the documents and paperwork, and they said, okay, Mr. Muth, you need to go into this room. You're going to be pending the MRI. And so they move me to a different part of the VA ER. A lady comes out. And by the way, this is probably the first time we've had frustrations with the VA system. We haven't had anything since up until now with this. But at any rate, we get told, or they come out again, and then I have to explain myself again what's going on with this whole situation. Which, by the way, that's
the words that come out my mouth.
Yeah, that's something I'll talk about a little bit later too. That when you're going through something like this, you need to learn to have patience. That you're going to tell your story a million times over, and that's okay. People that care about you just want to know what's going on, the details. So, be prepared to be a parrot. It's all right. It's okay. At any rate, tell my story. Get that information to her. She seems like she's like in my corner. Clearly was not. About 45 minutes later, she comes out and says, hey, Mr. Muth, I have been able to get in contact with a neurosurgeon within the VA hospital here. Don't know why the urology department or radiology department was able to get a hold of her, but I got changed to an ASAP order. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that mean? She says, well, that means you don't have to have it done here at the ER. Now radiology can schedule it, which, yeah.
That wasn't her order.
Or my doctor.
So how can someone change another provider's order?
Right. We don't understand how that. Yeah, that was
frustrating.
That was not just a little frustrating. That was very frustrating. So I explained to her. I said, "Well, I have brain cancer, and I have a fairly sized tumor in the side of my head that's causing severe pain and nausea, and we're trying to get this thing taken care of." That was something else that was very frustrating. That's the first time in the VA system where there was no empathy at all. Like, she just really didn't care that I had a tumor.
She didn't say, wow, I'm really sorry for
Yeah, like, you know what, we wish we could get you done with this faster,
like,
but this is the best way we can do this.
No.
It was like, sign the paperwork and
They'll call you.
They'll call you. Literally, that's how it went. So you're standing there and like, okay, I have 2 options. I can pick up this small little framed woman and throw her through the door and end up in the hospital or end up in prison, or I can just sign the paperwork. walk out the door and cry. So we signed the paperwork, walked out the door and cried. The radiology department did contact me pretty much almost 15 minutes later. Like
We
literally,
had
we had
just
just
gotten
got
to the
back to the car. And they're like, well, we have your paperwork, Mr. Muth. I know you've been working on this. Unfortunately, it just ironically, that same day that we were there, their MRI machine was down. Go figure. It'd been nice to know that after we sat there for 2 hours. But we get told that the soonest that we can do the MRI is April 11th, which it's currently April 8th. And I was just like, dude, I don't know, man. I can't keep like I talked before. Every day is a struggle, and it's not just a struggle for yourself. It's a struggle for your friends and your family and the people around you. And they want this to move forward just as quickly as you do. And I was just like, is there no way to do this better? And he said, honestly, an ASAP order has to be done within 14 days, and they had me within 7. So it was actually a really, really good.
Even on top of the patients he was having to reschedule because the MRI was down.
That's right. Yeah. So we.
He really did do his best.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he really did. They again. The only negative I've had thus far in this whole system was I don't even
That
know.
one PA in the ED.
And her name, don't even care.
Nope, doesn't matter. Letting it go.
Yeah.
Letting it go.
So we don't deal with it well. We go to the Red Rock Casino and have some tacos and a few beers. Well, Brittany gets on Google and actually finds my neurosurgeon's phone number online. And crazy enough, it's not just the office number; it's a direct line number.
It's his
Like
number.
crazy,
Yeah.
like super crazy. So
You don't find those doctors.
no, you never find out with doctors. And so I call this number and I leave him a message.
We had to let him know
Just-
at least what happened so
Yeah.
it don't fall through the cracks.
We're like, look, we just want you to know that the things aren't going the way we thought they were. We're delayed. You were supposed to see the MRI today. You
He
may
wanted
not.
results.
Yeah, you may not get the MRI until next week now. So he calls me up directly that same day and just says, hey, look, I apologize. This is kind of the way that the VA sometimes can be managed. And he says, we're going to do what we can to speed this process up. And I said, well, look, I got to come out there anyways. Why not just come out there and get the MRI done in San Francisco?
This is where he was his own advocate.
Yeah, I did. I said, look, he wants to do the third MRI. There's a small chance that this could be an anomaly. There is a chance that this may not be anything. And I may have a miracle to come this next Monday where they say, hey, this thing's gone and send me home. And I said, look, if I come out to San Francisco for you to tell me that I don't have brain cancer,
Then we get a mini vacation and come home.
I ain't going to be upset about that. Right, exactly. But if it is what we think it is, and we've seen the imaging of it already,
We're already
then
there.
at least we're there. We can get in with your
Let's
team.
do it.
He says, you know what? I think that's a great idea. Let me get back to you. Let me see what we can do with the schedule. I'm not good at reading the schedule. So he does. He calls me back the next day, and several of his team does, and we literally go from 0 to 100 miles an hour.
Pack your bags.
Pack your bags. So it is April 8th. We are scheduled to be on a plane tomorrow morning, headed to San Francisco.
Surgery pending April 11th.
April 11th, yeah. So Monday morning at 7 a.m. I have my third MRI, or excuse me, 8 a.m. scheduled for my third MRI. Later that day, COVID test. Later that day, lab works, pre-workups for the surgery.
And then
I have
anesthesiologist
consult.
And
then
then
my doctor wants to meet me personally before the surgery, which is amazing. He called me up and said that, called me up personally on a weekend.
tonight, Saturday night at 8 p.m. His doctor called her.
Yeah, he says, hey, Mr. Muse, I'd like to meet you in person before we go through all this and just sit down and discuss the surgery and talk about, how you're feeling and everything else about it, which is absolutely insane.
That's above and beyond.
Yeah, we've all had our surgeries and never had this kind of desire, attention, yeah, from a doctor. So
Yeah.
so that's the plan. So that's the game plan. From here, obviously, we probably won't have another Real Talks until we get through this. But Brittany's going to be taking photos and videos.
I might post a mini update.
Yeah, we're going to document pre and post op. Just kind of the here's our experience, what to expect. It's a shit show trying to get it all done. Getting the airfare and the hotel arrangements and all that kind of stuff. It's quite the issue. In fact, the VA is covering majority of all of this for us. However, they weren't able to schedule the hotel rooms, and and I'm fortunate enough that I can have the means to take care of getting my own hotel rooms in San Francisco, which everybody knows is not the cheapest place to stay, but we're able to do that. They covered the fare, but something to think about if you're going through a circumstance similar to ours and finances are a struggle and you've got to go out of state for something like this,
Or
or anywhere for that matter. Yeah, the
Shit adds
VA.
up.
The VA system can't always be there immediately for you. They try their best.
And most of y'all are civilians.
Right.
So
Right. So you can look at like thinking of posting some GoFundMe type things. It's hard to reach out sometimes and shed that pride and say that I need help, but it's things like that can maybe help cover some of those expenses and those bills when you go through a similar circumstance as ours.
and if you do need help, there's lots of social services. There's programs I guarantee in every city, state, county. So reach out to them. There's help there. So don't think that you can't get your procedure done because you don't have the funds.
Yeah.
Please, there's programs out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Just ask. There's people that want to help. I'm sure that just don't know how to help. A lot of people tell us all the time that they want to help. How can we help? And it may be just as simple as hey, if you can spare a couple dollars just to apply to my GoFundMe to help me be able to cover some of my expenses. It goes a long ways because nothing about this is easy. Boy, where are we right now? So last time we had this, we had Grandma here. We've got Mom here now chasing the cats around with wine. So that's pretty typical, but we are happy to have Mom.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
We're happy to have Mom here. She's flew in today to fly out tomorrow with us out to San Francisco. Grandma's coming out to San Francisco as well. I know a lot of you have reached out and said that you'd love to come visit. It might be a fucking blur as far as how quick I'll be there. They may have me there and head home on Thursday, so it may be kind of crazy and impossible for all of you to come out and visit. But obviously, if we can see you, or maybe just a FaceTime video, I would love.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd love the support. But we may not, and a good reason, be there for too long. Physically, I'm not much worse than last time we had this video. Not much better.
Emotionally?
Well, physically, I'm still dealing with the nausea,
Vomiting.
the vomiting, yes, the headaches, the lack of appetite. That's still the
Here's another shitty thing.
exhaustion.
Since the nausea and the headaches tend to be worse at night, but the nausea and vomiting tend to come on at night. So unfortunately, he is associated going to bed with being sick.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's like this
There's
like
no-
I don't want to go to bed. Like I'm fucking tired. I don't want to go to bed because that means
That's your
I'm
first.
gonna have to. My first F. That means. Sorry, I get intense when I'm talking
Sure.
about how you feel. Anyway, so that's like a double whammy. He can't sleep because he can't sleep, and he can't sleep because he's sick, and that just makes the sickness. It's just a vicious cycle. So that sucks.
You're stuck in a Groundhog Day. The headaches are consistent and constant. The nausea comes and goes. It is worse at night, but it can come on during the day too. I was starting to think it was just anxiety driven. I think it's partly just all the drugs I'm taking. It's partly the cancer. It's partly the anxiety.
But it's a symptom of the glioma.
Yeah.
The nausea and vomiting is a symptom.
The next question is, I've been asked, well, like now that you're scheduled and you got this planned, how you feeling? Boy, that's a loaded question. You go from like, I have to deal with this to like, this is a reality to, okay, I'm dealing with these symptoms. You're fighting to move your steps forward. And then all of a sudden it just seems like the bridge jumps forward 16 steps and it comes so quick. It's overwhelming. I am extremely anxious. Extremely.
I thought about taking a staple pool just to keep things light. Gambling's fun, right?
I mean, we all know it's going to be okay, but that's it's fucking brain surgery. So let's be honest about it. Like, I'm still a realist in this. There's risks, and the risks that you have to take because I want to be around for decades to come. So this is a risk that I'm willing to take, just like people would say, I like to ride motocross and stuff like that, and you take those risks on a daily. But boy, yeah, having somebody stick their fingers in your brain, it's pretty terrifying. So yeah, definitely worried about that piece of it. I know I'm probably in the hands of some of the best in the nation, and I just can't say enough about how blessed I am to still have that. I'm not getting this done in some back alley behind Caesar's Palace.
I'm not getting a brain transplant.
Right, yeah, it's not quite the surgery you thought you were getting. But yeah, I mean, it's the best of the best it can be. But if I told you that I wasn't scared, I would be lying to everybody that's here. So definitely scared. Definitely know it's going to be okay.
I'm just happy I don't have to wait in the waiting room alone.
Yeah.
Since Mom and Grandma will be there.
Yeah. The hurry up and wait, boy, like it's like anything in the military,
30
right?
minutes.
Yeah, you wait.
1 hour.
You wait.
Hour and a half.
Freaking 15 days
2
to shit to start going, and the next thing you know, you're taking rounds down range, right? Like it goes from nothing to like that, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
That's what it felt like when they were processing our flight in our hotel. You're waiting for your orders, and then here they are, here you go, here's your ticket, get on the bus. That's what it felt like.
Right, you don't even get a chance to say goodbye to anybody or anything. Next thing you know, you're just like, you're driving down the road like, what the hell just happened? So that's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind if you're dealing with this is that it's gonna feel like, oh my God, this is now happening. So
it's like waiting for Christmas.
Right. And then shit, I've got to deal with the emotions of the day too. So we'll document that as we go through it. But I'm super happy that we've got it scheduled. That Dr. Lim was able to push this forward. That we're not delayed a few more weeks. That if we're gonna do this, everybody knows me. I'd like to step on the gas. I'd like to go fast. So let's do this. God, what are some other things? I mean,
maybe just one more. We're getting.
Yeah, it's 19 minutes.
Again.
We're okay. I think we talked about pretty much everything that's there.
Yeah.
Panic attacks are going to be real. You suffered your own. Those are just going to come up when you least expect them. So as somebody that supports a person like myself that's going through this, don't be afraid to reach out for your own help. You're dealing with this in your own ways, and Brittany has had to deal with not only nursing school in general, my brain cancer, and all of this. You're we'd like to think we're superheroes, but we're human, and you're gonna have panic attacks. You're gonna have crazy thoughts.
I told him I'm a duck.
Yeah,
Nice and calm on the surface, but underneath I'm
kicking like frantic. Yeah, legs are a million miles an hour and not going anywhere. And
so
we
it
totally
might look good and comfy and calm and
Yeah.
cute little duck. Underneath, holy shit.
Yep. Obviously, I got my new haircut.
Yep, he's prepped.
I'm
ready.
prepped. Style and Grace, love you guys. They gave me a free haircut.
Thanks, Sal.
Thank you, Sal. It's not great, but it's better than they probably would have gave me, so I'll take it. Love to all the family and friends, again, to the people out here that we've just made acquaintances through, like I said, the place we get our hair cut and where we go eat sushi and
Hokkaido.
just
James and Jason. Jason Bistro.
yeah, just people that know us only through acquaintances that have really just stepped up and just really in our corner want to make sure that we can get back and get back to being normal and healthy. So more to follow. Where's Ziggy? Oh, Ziggy's over with.
Yay! He's
Ziggy's-
getting mom lap time.
Mom on mom's lap. That's a good thing. Yep. Anything else you think for this one?
No, I think we kind of covered it.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys always coming in and watching this film. Hopefully it does somebody some good. I know we've got friends that are going through circumstances similar to ours.
Yeah, we talked.
Stay strong again. Again, we're in your side. We're in your corner.
Still.
And if I don't know you, and if you are going through something similar, please don't hesitate to leave a comment or reach out. I would love to meet you and at least talk about my experience with you as well. This is why we're doing this. This is just to put us out there as we're dealing with it. And as raw as we're dealing with it, this is the reality.
Consider us like quasi-advocates.
Yeah, we're nobodies like everybody else. We're just out here doing our best to put good into the world and maybe help somebody along that way. So, love you. Until next time.
Right, that's it for now, guys.
Yeah.
Love
Real
you.
Talks number 3.
Next one's gonna be interesting.
Next one, I have a zipper head.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.